There is a plant growing within 50 feet of where you are sitting right now that contains more protein per gram than eggs. Cut it to the ground on Monday, and by Sunday it stands tall again, ready for another harvest. It has been feeding humans for over 10,000 years. Roman soldiers carried it as emergency rations. Medieval peasants survived winters on it when grain stores ran empty. Then we declared war on it. Not a metaphorical war, an actual coordinated campaign involving chemical weapons, government agencies, and billions of dollars. The herbicide industry spends over $3 billion annually convincing you to poison this plant, not because it harms your garden, because it feeds you without permission. This is the story of the leaf we were taught to kill. Welcome to Recession Roots. Before we dig into this vault, if these roots matter to you, the best way to preserve this knowledge is simple. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share these roots with those who need to remember what we forgot. The story begins in 1916 on the outskirts of Berlin. Germany was starving. The British naval blockade had cut off food imports. The winter of 1916 to 1917 would later be called the Turnip Winter. Over 700,000 German civilians died from starvation and malnutrition. The German government issued emergency foraging guides. One plant appeared on every list. They called it Beeren Nessel. The guides explained how to harvest it, cook it, and dry it for storage. Factories converted to process its fiber for military uniforms when cotton imports vanished. The plant that gardeners cursed became the plant that kept a nation clothed and fed. This is stinging nettle, Urtica dioica, the most nutritious plant you have been taught to destroy. The relationship between humans and nettles stretches back to the Mesolithic period. Archaeologists found nettle fibers in settlements dating to 7000 BC. Before cotton existed, nettle cloth dressed northern Europe. Bronze Age burial sites contain nettle textiles preserved for 4,000 years. Roman legions carried dried nettle on campaigns. Pliny documented soldiers whipping themselves with fresh nettles to stay warm during northern winters. But they also ate it. Nettle soup sustained armies far from supply lines. In medieval Britain, February was sometimes called Nettle Month. The hungry gap, when winter stores ran low and nothing else grew. Nettle shoots pushed through frozen ground weeks before any cultivated crop. For peasant families, that timing meant survival. Modern laboratory analysis reveals numbers that challenge everything the food industry wants you to believe. Protein content reaches 25% by dry weight. Eggs contain 13%. Beef contains 26%. A wild plant rivals the most prized protein sources on Earth, and nettle protein is complete, containing all 9 essential amino acids. Iron hits 7.8 milligrams per 100 grams. Spinach contains 2.7. Nettle delivers nearly 3 times more iron than the vegetable Popeye made famous. Calcium reaches 481 milligrams per 100 grams. Milk contains 125. Nettle provides almost 4 times more calcium than dairy. In 2017, researchers at the University of Naples published a comprehensive review of nettle's compounds. They identified over 50 bioactive substances, including flavonoids that reduce inflammation and polysaccharides that support immune function. They concluded nettle deserves classification as a functional food with medicinal properties. So why do we spend billions killing it? The herbicide industry emerged from World War II chemical weapons research. Scientists who developed agents to destroy enemy crops pivoted to destroying domestic weeds. By 1950, selective herbicides reached American lawns. The message was simple: a good lawn is a pure lawn. Anything growing without permission is an enemy. Nettle became target number 1. It spreads through underground rhizomes. It colonizes disturbed soil within weeks. It thrives in nitrogen-rich environments, exactly where humans live. Every characteristic that made it valuable made it incompatible with the chemical lawn industry. Today, Bayer, Syngenta, and Corteva sell herbicide formulations specifically for nettle control. Garden centers stock bottles promising to eliminate this weed permanently. Homeowner associations prohibit it. Municipal codes classify it as a nuisance requiring removal. The American lawn care industry generates $105 billion annually. That revenue requires you to believe lawns should contain only purchased grass, maintained with purchased chemicals. A plant providing free protein every week threatens the entire model, because nettle does more than feed humans. It feeds soil. Those nitrogen-rich leaves decompose into fertilizer rivaling commercial products. One plant replaces both grocery store protein and garden center fertilizer. The sting reveals nature's genius. Hollow silica hairs cover leaves and stems. When touched, these hairs break and inject histamine, acetylcholine, and formic acid. The sting evolved to protect the plant from grazing animals, but humans learned to bypass it. Heat destroys the stinging mechanism completely. 30 seconds in boiling water neutralizes every hair. Drying works too. The sting actually signals nutritional density. Plants defend their most valuable tissues. Harvesting requires only gloves and scissors. Cut the top 4 to 6 inches of growth. The plant responds by branching and producing more tips. Regular harvesting increases total yield. One patch provides weekly protein from April through October. 7 months of free food from a plant you have been taught to exterminate. Cook nettle like spinach. Saute with garlic. Blend into pesto. Add to soups and stews. Dry leaves and crumble them into smoothies. Make tea that delivers bioavailable iron and calcium. The flavor is mild, earthy, and slightly mineral. Start slowly if you are new to nettle. Your digestive system needs time to adapt to this nutrient density. Begin with small portions and increase over 2 weeks. Children who reject spinach often accept nettle because it lacks the oxalic acid bitterness that makes cultivated greens unpalatable. We did not lose nettle. We were conscripted into a war against it. The chemical industry made us soldiers in a campaign to destroy free food. Every herbicide bottle purchased is a tax paid to corporations profiting from our ignorance. But the plant refuses to surrender. It grows back from root fragments. It spreads through seeds viable for years. It colonizes every disturbed patch of earth. Nettle follows us because we spent 10,000 years cultivating a relationship. Your great-grandmother knew nettle. She harvested it every spring and never purchased protein powder or iron supplements. That knowledge exists in every patch of stinging leaves waiting at the edge of your lawn. The war ends when we stop fighting. When we put down herbicide bottles and pick up harvesting gloves. When we recognize that the most nutritious plant in the Northern Hemisphere is not an enemy, but an ally. Nettle is still there, still offering more protein than eggs, more iron than spinach, more calcium than milk. Still waiting for us to remember. If this root revealed something for you, subscribe to Recession Roots and hit the bell. Every like and every share preserves what they tried to poison out of existence. The next root breaks ground soon.